Hello, Pocketed team. We are group number 2, also known as the Dream Team, and today we'll be presenting our idea in making Pocketed more user-friendly and accessible to new and existing users.
Pocketed's goal is making grant funding more accessible to every business owner. So far, they have been doing exactly that. However, there has been some feedback citing ways in which the platform could be improved, as there are those who struggle to understand the true benefits of using Pocketed. We set out to make Pocketed more user-friendly and expand the service offerings for 2022 to better reflect user demands.
We interviewed entrepreneurs with 10 employees or less across an array of fields, and they described their very first encounter with Pocketed to be confusing. The website was described as difficult to navigate, and interviewees had trouble locating relevant information and found it time consuming. When it came to grants in general, some had lack of trust in the systems which provide them. Others had complaints about unnecessary restrictions that gave a time frame in which grant money had to be spent, for instance, and the general consensus among everybody was that there was lots of unnecessary steps which lead to plenty of lost time that could be spent working. Based on the feedback of those who could really put Pocketed to use, and taking into account the issues they have with grants in general that Pocketed could help solve, we came up with an innovative but simple and straightforward solution of restructuring HelloPocketed.io in order to make it more comprehensive and community oriented. Such changes would include a short introductory video on the homepage so that new users can better understand what Pocketed has to offer prior to making an account, a visible link to the updated frequently asked questions page, better clarification on how Pocketed's paid services work, and the creation of a community forum.
Here's an example of how a reconstructed Pocketed homepage could look like. As you can see, off the bat, there is a brief video giving the web page visitor a quick overview of how Pocketed works and how it could benefit their lives. The link to the frequently asked questions section is right at the top of the page rather than being somewhat hidden near the bottom the way it is now, because those new to Pocketed will have initial questions that will likely be answered there. Offering a well-structured and easily accessible frequently asked questions section gives new users a reason to come to Pocketed, but a community forum would give them a reason to stay. This addition will attract entire networks of entrepreneurial communities, as Pocketed will become the new go-to hub. Applicants can post questions or concerns and receive answers and support from users who have previously filled out that application or ones like it.
To the curious entrepreneur visiting the Pocketed website, the payment plans may seem unclear and maybe even unnecessary. Although there is a basic chart, the true benefits are not really explained and rely on the user's knowledge of specific terms with no clarification. The option of Pocketed doing the work for you for a commission is also missing entirely. It only shows up in the Grant browser after an account is made, a feature which may be something that is really enticing to an undecided potential user. A quick video explaining how these paid options work and how they will benefit the user would also greatly help on a page like this.
Statistics show that over 1 million Canadian businesses are owned by first-generation immigrants. Through our interviews, we found that a lack of information regarding grants was a major detractor for those operating their business, and more so for immigrants due to the difference in operating structure from their home country. By opening forums, Pocketed can facilitate greater discussion and dissemination of appropriate information, thereby reducing the workload of grant experts that Pocketed mentioned in the initial challenge.
Immediate benefits from our solution are centered around the fact that Pocketed can begin to build a sense of community. Users want to help out one another and will often volunteer time to help others. Administrators can step in too when concrete information is required. This will create the true hands-off solution which Pocketed is seeking, a reduction in the amount of time users need to apply for individual grants. Pocketed needs to have companies, organizations, and governments posting their grants on Pocketed's website and using it as the industry standard. In order for this to occur, cybersecurity is paramount, which involves server farms and strong safety protocols. With billions worth of funding on the line, any phone apps need to have such security, and so the final effects of a hands-off quick apply button can be implemented. One of the benefits of implementing our solution is the Pocketed team already has most of the resources needed to execute it. Upkeep of newly integrated forms and the existing FAQ can be done by restructuring the tasks of existing staff. Depending on the skills of the current team, new hires may be needed in order to implement some changes. However, no major overhaul will need to be done in regards to the company, making our solution a practical and realistic one.
It is important that users see Pocketed as far more than just a search engine, and we hope that implementing our suggestions will be a viable solution to achieve this objective. Our goal is to make Pocketed a more community-oriented service to give users a platform which helps them truly achieve seamless access to grant funding.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation.